Hi, my name's Allison Bishop. I'm a financial coach, a CPA, and a certified divorce financial analyst. A CDFA is a professional who's trained in the tax and financial issues that are specific to divorce. I work with a lot of people either currently going through a divorce or having recently come out the other side, and it can be a really overwhelming process. Keep in mind that I am in Maine and that all my experience with divorces is in the Maine system. So if you live in a different state and are facing divorce in a different state, what I'm saying here may not apply to you. But for people facing a divorce, there are some things that you want to consider. And one of them is, how are you going to pay for the divorce? Because unfortunately, divorce is typically an expensive process. Another thing to think about is, what is your lifestyle going to look like after the divorce? So for your income, I mean, maybe you just have a job, you're going to continue working there. There's no big change, but you might be receiving spousal support. Or maybe you're going to take this opportunity and go back to school and get trained for a different career. So what is your income going to look like on the other side? And then on the flip side, what are your expenses going to look like? Are you going to remain in the family home? Are you going to sell it and rent an apartment? Are you going to buy something else? What is your expense? What are your expenses going to look like? Are you going to consider maybe moving to another state? You're going to have to fill out some paperwork. So in the Maine court system, you have to fill out financial paperwork that lists out all the assets and debts in your marriage, so held by you or your ex-spouse or held jointly. And also each spouse is going to have to submit a budget for their lifestyle going forward. And to that end, you're going to want to, as soon as possible, start collecting documents. So everything from bank statements to tax returns to both spouses' retirement accounts, as long as there were any contributions made during the marriage, all retirement accounts are on the table to be considered in the divorce. I have a document on my website that you can download for free, which is sort of a checklist of here's financial documents that you might need. And it has information on things like for tax returns, how many years are you going to want to look at, that sort of thing. So you can find that on my website. And then within the divorce, there's three major areas in which financial decisions are going to be made. So the first is dividing property. And so that's all the assets and debts that arose during the marriage, just splitting those up between the two spouses. The second thing is child support. So if you have children under the age of 18, this is obviously a consideration. At least in Maine, it's usually not a major point of negotiation because it's really set by formula, which is related to the relative incomes of the parties and what each parent is paying for already, things like medical insurance, daycare costs, that sort of thing. You can deviate from what the formula tells you child support would be, but it's usually not a major point of negotiation. But spousal support is, and spousal support comes into play when there's a big discrepancy in between the two incomes of the spouses, and particularly in marriages of a longer term, spousal support becomes more of an issue. And so the two things really to decide and to negotiate are the amount of the spousal support and the length, the term over which it will be paid. But I always encourage people to at least consider the possibility of taking a lump sum or giving a lump sum rather than ongoing monthly payments. If that's a possibility, sometimes it's not. So before you panic, it is a very overwhelming process. And remember, you don't have to make every decision today. You have time, and surrounding yourself with people that you trust who can help you through this process is invaluable. So I always recommend that you have an attorney that you trust. You don't have to hire them to represent you, at every minute during this divorce, but at least consult with an attorney when you're first considering it, and then before you sign anything. Getting the emotional support you need. So getting a good therapist is a really good idea to help you through this process. And also for your kids, if you've got kids, even adult kids, making sure they have the support they need. Surrounding yourself with supportive family and friends, of course, is a great idea. It's really important. Just keep in mind, don't take financial or legal advice from well-meaning family or friends unless they're actually qualified to give you such advice. If you need help navigating the financial part of your divorce, feel free to reach out to me. There's no obligation. I always offer a 15-minute phone call, and it's just to see if I'd be a good fit for your situation. I also would be happy to pass on resources that I know of, attorney references, however else I can help you through this process. So you can find out more about me and contact me through my website, which is AllisonBishop.com. It's ALLISON Bishop, BISHOP.com. You can email me at allison@allisonbishop.com or give me a call at 207-805-8400. So good luck with this process.